Hello everyone and welcome to episode 29 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling Series, as it is the Power Struggle Tour, which means we got the Super Junior Tag League to book, and we have, as far as the tour goes, also, we're going to basically have everything already pre-booked already, so as far as 3 and 4, kind of makes sense, as far as we have a House of Torture and Task Force death matches, as well as some Dark Order and Task Force death matches as well. We also have a Chaos and United Empire match, so that's nice. So at least we got those out of the way, and we already have the Super Junior Tag League booked up, which it looks like this going into it. It's the biggest one we have done so far, because the first one we did back in 2020 was an 8-team tournament, which I think we could have done a 10-man team back then as well. I completely forgot going into that Power Struggle Tour. It's like, oh yeah, we have to do the Super Junior Tag League, so our schedule was not really that great. But now we have it to where we can absolutely do it with 10 teams, and the 10 teams look like this, as it is Dark Order of Alex Reynolds and John Silver. John Silver making his kind of big return to New Japan after his injury. Golden Dragons of Sena de Ora and Samurai del Sol. House of Torture 2, which is Drew Parker and Taiji Shimori. Lucha Brothers, of course, the tag team champs, the junior tag team champs. And the House of, not the House of Torture, the Task Force Death team, junior team, has Mexa Blood 3, which is Ryu Lee and Rey Horus. Instead of Rey Horus and Flamita, which they do have, great chemistry, just feel like Ryu Lee will give them a little bit more of a better chance as far as better performances. 108, Raisuke Taguchi, Master Wato, coming back to the Super Junior Tag League. Roppongi 3K, back at it again. Of course, the junior team representing Chaos. Then we got El Desperado and Yoshida Kanemaru, Suzuki-gun, and Christian Casanova and Myron Reed of the Foundation making their first Junior Tag League. And the Velocities making their first Junior Tag League as well. So we don't have Top Flight, which might be a mistake. Top Flight, as far as they got their big shot last year, but this year their big shot is going to the Velocities instead. And then for Christian Casanova and Myron Reed, just feel like they deserved it, as far as the Foundation have done really well. And if, sure, we could have had like Fred Yehai in there instead, like Fred Yehai and Myron Reed, but Fred Yehai is going to be in a title matchup. He's obviously still the Never Openweight 6-man champs with Power E and Shelton Benjamin. That's going to open up Power Struggle, which unfortunately we don't have any graphics for this show because the internet's still down, and I can't load up anything as far as like trying to get graphics, or not only graphics, because most of these guys do have graphics I already have saved up, but the problem is getting like the all the Japanese text, have it saved on a file that I can't load up, unfortunately. Like a folder of like a Google Docs thing. Fortunately, I don't have it already opened, or that would have been an easy fix. We would have been able to do it, but unfortunately, it's not the case. But the opener, Never Openweight 6-man tag team title matchup, is Hayato Tamura, Hiroshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima. Going to take on the Foundation of obviously Fred Yehai, Power E, and Shelton Benjamin. They've been a hell of a team so far in the Foundation. They've gotten a lot of wins. They also have a title matchup during this tour, so that's going to be another win for them. That'll be like 4 defenses within almost a month. That's pretty crazy. And the next matchup, Sonata and Tetsuya Naito taking on the team of Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. Sure, we could have probably went with the Chaotic Pitbulls instead, but I wanted to get Toru Yano involved just because he's been really outperforming Hiroki Goto for the most part. Then the Super Junior Tag League Finals, which we won't know until obviously that happens. As far as the next matchup, IWGP Tag Team title matchup, Brody, Lee, and Evil of Dark Order taking on Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring, which that should be pretty fun. Evil's probably going to be the worst guy in that match, obviously, but everybody else in this match should do really, really well. IWGP Intercontinental title matchup, as the Junior Heavyweight Champion in Pac is going to take on the Intercontinental Champion Hiromu Takahashi. Of course, they had their G1 match that went to a 30-minute time limit draw, so it just makes sense to have this match happen again at Power Struggle, as 60-minute time limit. Are they going to go the distance, or is Hiromu going to be Pac, or is Pac going to be a double champ as far as the Intercontinental and Junior Heavyweight Champion? That's a big time matchup. That should be a lot of fun. And then in a rights to face the IWGP Heavyweight Champion, a Wrestle Kingdom matchup, as Shingo Takagi, the briefcase holder of, obviously winning the G1, is going to take on Kota Ibushi, as Ibushi beat him during the G1, so that's why we're having this match take place. That should be pretty fun. I think their match was like at 82, 83 when we did in the G1. Co-main event, and, it's interesting because Zack and Okada had a match during the G1, and Okada beat him, but Zack challenged him at, of course, our previous episode at Royal Quest, and Okada has accepted the challenge. It's going to take on Zack Sabre Jr. in the co-main event. That should be a really fun matchup, obviously, since that did like a 91 during the G1. That should do just about the same here. And in the main event, former Bullet Club teammates, now as far as adversaries, Task Force Death and House of Torture, as Jay White, of course, the leader of House of Torture, and Kenta joining the Task Force Death team, and has been on quite the roll so far as the heavyweight champ, using that same help from Jay White and Bullet Club, turning into quite the reign, which I think it makes sense to have this be a Power Struggle main event. I love it. Absolutely love that the card here. I think a lot of it, makes sense, and I think a lot of it, having it like this being like the second match on the card, that's going to be a really good match. It probably should be ahead of the Super Junior Tag League, if we're being honest, the Tag League finals. But, I think that's all we have to go through. So let's get on with the tour and get on with the episode. As, they got us in Sayama. We got backstage incident. It's Daichi Morihama. Saw before Wrestler's Court, accused of being an hour late to pick up his assigned travel partner, and the judge, Jushin Thunder Liger, found him guilty and sentenced to pay for his travel partner's deals the next 3 shows. And we got a 62 the last time we ran this, as what an interesting main event that is that we ran. So, I think we could run Korakuen, obviously, and it'd still work. We could also run somewhere else. I think that's probably for the best. Run Chubu and just kind of see what happens. There we go. As to open up the tour, we have our 6. So our main event's going to be this in Kenta and Pac versus Jay White and Miro. As it's going to be a 30-minute time limit draw, because obviously we have a lot of great champions in there. We got the heavyweight champ, got the junior champ, got the challenger and Jay White don't win him losing, and then Miro being the New Japan Strong Overweight champion. We could have probably had Kenta beat him, which I think we might do. Now I'm thinking about it. Bump it down to like 26. Have Kenta beat Miro, and I think that's probably for the best, instead of a time limit draw. Because I didn't want Miro beating Pac, which he probably should, but I feel like that's just for the best. There. As, then definitely the co-main is definitely Lucha Brothers House of Torture 2. And the challengers are going to beat the tag champs as far as for this one. Of course, it being the first day of a tournament, we're going to have the champs lose. The Ishimori's going to beat Rey Fenix there. That's going to be a fun match, though, for sure. Then the next matchup, that's a tough call, because there's some interesting matches on this one. So it could be a pretty good match, honestly, in wow, we have this as a technical masterclass match. Don't think that's going to take. I think this should probably be the technical masterclass matchup, for being honest. Yeah, we'll have this be the masterclass match. It's all great. I added it, so I didn't even see who's winning what. I'll have to click on that again. Wasn't really paying attention all that way, but this is, still should be a pretty good match, because they do pretty well in the velocity, so they're just not really over, and, yeah, they're in a spot where it's not going to really affect the match too well, but Roppongi 3K will be beating Suzuki-gun. Their show's going to be Kanemaru to open up the show. Then Golden Dragons against Dark Order, which Golden Dragons will be beating Dark Order. Gave that 18 minutes. So Samurai Del Sol's going to be beating Alex Reynolds. So Senda de Ora, what's going on with... Is he still hurt? I thought he was not hurt anymore. Must have been wrong. Yeah, he's definitely still injured. Oh boy. As, let's see who could fill the void. Caristica would have fit in perfectly for this. I don't think we'll be able to bring them up at this screen. So that sucks. But yeah, that's definitely going to be what we're going to do in the future. So we'll have to figure something out as far as what we can do with Sid de Ar's replacement. Boy, oh boy. As let's take a look here. Well, what we could do, and probably should do, honestly, is have Alex Shelley and Kaiju Tomato in this. If we're being honest, that would probably have been for the best, anyways. So we're just gonna do that. Golden Dragons are not gonna be in it anymore. As that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Anyways, because this is a much better team. Alex Shelley gonna be beating Alex Reynolds. I like that a lot more, to be honest. Anyways. And then Myron Reed, Christian Casanova against 1R8. And Master Wado is going to be beating Christian Casanova. That's going to be a big win for Master Wado, just to get a win underneath his... Because, I mean, he barely gets any because of his in-ring performances. But this should be a nice win for him. And beating the Foundation in their first Super Junior Tag League matchup. Let's see here. So this actually could probably be higher now. So that's nice. We'll probably have this be after that. So now we gotta change this around. Get rid of the Golden Dragons. So I don't know why it's taking so long to load. Oh, now TW's wanting to crash. That'd be great. Let's see, place. Cindy Deora. Alex Shelley. And Samurai del Sol. Kaji D'Amato. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's much better. They probably should have been anyways. You know, over either Casanova and Reed or Velocities, because, I mean, they're Liberty United, even though poor Juice is out for a while, they could use the great momentum going their way. As, yeah, let's run the show. See what we get for our first day here. There we go. As, I don't know why everything's so slow. As, Roppongi 3K, Show and Yo, beating El Desperado Yoshinobu Kanemaru as Show with the power breaker over Kanemaru in 16:25. 55, that's not bad for an opener for a Super Junior Tag League. 54 for Myron Reed and Christian Casanova against 1R8. As, yeah, Christian Casanova outperformed Master Wado. I don't know why I keep on trying with Master Wado, but I just can't help it. As he gets the win with the Dreamcast in 12:35. 61 for Ray Horse and Ryu Lee against the Velocities, as Ryu Lee with the Desnukadora, as Ryu Lee gets the win in 16:01. 64 for Ryu Lee, 51 for Ray Horse. Yeah, definitely a lot better than having Flamita in there with Ray Horse. So that's great. It's a great win for Mexa Blood. 62 for Alex Shelley and Kaiju D'Amato against John Silver and Alex Reynolds. Yeah, I mean, Alex Shelley being the man here, getting the one with the underarm snap STO in 17:45. As a 54 for John Silver, 51 for Kaiji D'Amato, and a 45 for Alex Reynolds. And a 69 for the Lucha Brothers against House of Torture. As Taiji Shimura, the Bloody Dragon, in 22:44. Is Phoenix best guy in the match. Which probably should have just had Ishimori beat Pentagon Jr. there. The wrong team won, for sure. And, you know, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. are awesome. But that's a great win, though, for the House of Torture team. They've really been on a roll anyway, so that's even if they do fall short in the tournament, they could still take on the Lucha Brothers at a future date. It's an 80 for our main event. As I forgot to, alright, so I guess it's something happened where we didn't take off the draw, I'm assuming. So that sucks. But at least it was still an 80. Double DQ. We'll take it, I guess. Miro gets pissed. You know, just try gets out some. You know, Miro and Jay White, they get pissed. Get some chairs out, and Kent and Pac, they're not taking any shit either. They can also get chairs out. Turns into a bit of a shenanigans of a finish, but at least it still gets an 80 because we didn't actually set it as a double DQ. I hate how that game works. It makes no goddamn sense. But 75 though, at least we increased our pop, and it's a pretty good show. We get saved by a main event, that's for sure. So yeah, there is obviously a bit of a break in between, so we can take a break here, and we'll catch you guys for day 2. Alright, so for night 2, day 2, as we have pretty good main event. It's LIJ Chaos 6-man. It's got Sonata, Naito, and I want to say Shingo, maybe Bushi, against Toriano. Or so I think it is heavyweight. So I think it is Yano, Ishii, and Goto. So they gotta find a better. There we go, Kyushu. That's probably for the best. It's gonna be almost 50% capacity, but we'll take it. Main event. As so it is Shingo, Sonata, Naito against Ishii, Yano, and Goto. As Yano's going to beat Sonata. That's a huge win. I want to make it a quick, clean, kind of, roll-up win. Even though it's probably going to give way too much time, in 20 minutes having a Toriano-involved match. But I think it's still going to work out very well. As the co-main is probably going to be this. In Alex Shelley catching the out against Roppongi 3K. So Alex Shelley's going to be getting the win over Roppongi 3K, as Shelley's going to beat Yo. And they'll probably for the co-main, it's tough, because I think this is a great co-main, or not the co-main, this is a great match under the co-main. It's either going to be this or the Lucha Brothers tag match. I think we're going to go with this one, though. I think we're going to go with Next of Blood. Oh, wow, yeah, this is Techno Masterclass. Never mind. As I guess that makes sense. I figured it would probably should have been this, though, but yeah, we're gonna have it be this instead. I keep on changing what I want the Techno Masterclass match to be. But yeah, I think it should be that, and this should be a regular match. Because I think it's just gonna be better for everybody else. As gotta go back to it. As John Silver is actually gonna get the win. He's gonna beat Ray Horus in a huge upset and a big win for the Dark Order team. So that's great for them. Then the tag champs against Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperados. Pentagon Jr. gonna get the win over Suzuki-gun. Just makes sense from that perspective, getting a bounce-back win. Then House of Torture and 108 is gonna kick off the show. And then the Velocities against Myron Reed and Christian Casanova. Sure, both these teams, these 4 guys here, they have no pop, anything like that. So we're just gonna have them set for Steal the Show and hope they absolutely steal the show. I mean, they have pretty good performances. They're just not over enough. It's kind of the problem there. And, I mean, this was a pretty good opener, though, to have. Ishimori's going to do really well. Taguchi's going to do okay. And, yeah, but Taguchi's going to be beating... Ishimori's going to be beating Taguchi, rather. To get another win for the House of Torture team. And so we have, that's weird. That should be a Technical Masterclass match. Guess it didn't save or something. There we go. So we have our 6 segments. We're good to go. Yeah, obviously this tour is going to be pretty fast to book through. So we got a 60 for Taiji Ishimori against as he gets the win over Ryusuke Taguchi as he pins up with the Bloody Dragon in 1739. So Ishimori the 65. Taguchi with a 58, though. Drew Parker does really well too. So yeah, just really could have had Master Wato take the fall there, and it really been no problem, but went with that instead. It's a pretty good match, pretty good opener. Hell yeah, as they do just have a good enough matchup for this to work, as Jude London, Paris Day Silva have a pretty good match with the Velocities here, even though this would have been a lot better had they been over. This is not bad at all. Jude London taps out Christian Casanova in 11:29, so he had Paris Day Silva with a 50. 48 for Myron Reed, 46 is for Jude London and Christian Casanova. That's really good. 67, though, for Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado against the Lucha Brothers, as Pentagon Jr. with the package power driver, double foot stomp combination, pinning him after the combination there, as Ray Phoenix head and shoulders above everybody else with the 77. So yeah, I mean, Suzuki didn't have a prayer. 60 here. I put a little too much faith in that. I knew I should have went with the tag champs going on in this spot instead. It's John Silver pinning Ray Horus with the Enziguri in 15:38. He does outperform Ray Horus, and Ray Horus and Alex Reynolds do about the same. Just John Silver's a little bit off his game. Still a pretty good match, though. That's a good win for the Dark Order team. It's a 63 for Alex Shelley and Kaiji Yamada against Sho and Yo for Pungi 3K, as Shelley with the Border City stretch in 1933. That was really good. I'm not exactly sure why this wasn't a little bit. I guess it is a 63. Got a lot of people holding back and all that stuff. Yeah, pretty good stuff there from Alex Shelley, obviously. It's a 71, though, for our main event, as we changed Hiroki Goto's gimmick since he was, not doing so hot with he was a little stale. Figured that'd help him out, which it did. It's now great. But 81 for Naito, 71 for Shingo, 67 for Sonata. So with Yano being almost the best guy on the Chaos side is pretty interesting. Obviously, Goto was really off his game, but still a pretty good match, though, as Yano with a fast roll-up over Sonata in 2002. At least we had a pretty good show. 69, we'll take it. It wasn't as good as our previous night, obviously, but still a pretty good match there, and a pretty good show. As, we're underway. As, we got 2 nights in already, and it seems like we're just rolling through this. Obviously, everything being pre-booked already makes things a lot easier to kind of roll through. So, this should make it a pretty easy process. Of course, we got Strong to book now, and then we'll be back for day 3. Alright, day 3. So, I think a lot of people are going to be like, why wasn't any type of United Empire team in this Super Junior Tag League? They were the previous champs. They lost the belts at the Autumn Attack and National Stadium show, and I really wanted to use them on the Strong tapings, as far as any type of variety, whether it was going to be Lee Moriarty, Gresham, and a Makabe, and which that might be a mistake, as far as trying to have like a better Super Junior Tag League, obviously if they're involved, but I wanted to help elevate some of the younger teams, teams like, Myron Reed and Christian Casanova, the Foundation, and the team like the Velocities. So that was kind of the idea, that was the thinking behind that. I just kind of felt like that needed to be explained a little bit. As backstage incident, Flamita and Jushin Liger's Flamita was before Wrestler's Court accused of not joining the rest of the locker room for a night out, as the judge Jushin Thunder Liger found him guilty and sentenced by drinks forever after the show. Small positive impact on Flamita. So, as far as I know, I forgot to change the Golden Dragon match to Alex Shelley and nice, on the Akita Gate Arena to the Liberty United team. So what's that? Wait, where they're at? Oh, there we go. Lucha Dragons and the Golden Dragons, or Lucha Brothers rather, and the Golden Dragons, as Samurai Del Sol was gonna get the win there, and I think we're still gonna have Shelley and Kaisha D'Amato still get the win. I think that's fun. As far as they've never had a tag match before, so that's pretty awesome. And we're gonna have Shelley beat Pentagon Jr. there. That's a great win. It's a great match. That could honestly be a main event, for being honest. But we do have one main event already, with this Chaos versus the Foundation Super Never Openweight 6-man title matchup. As Power's going to beat Hiroki Goto there. That's from Yano, and obviously this team winning the previous show. Just makes sense. I mean, we could honestly still have this not be the main, but I think it's going to be good enough to be a main. I really do think that. Let's see if I'm wrong. Let's see if I get proven wrong. As the next matchup here. So this is. It probably should be this. Roppongi 3K against Max of Blood. Which Roppongi 3K are going to beat Max of Blood, as Yo's going to pin Ryu Lee too. That's pretty awesome for Yo. That's a big win. So yeah, Ryu Lee's going to be a little unhappy about that. That makes sense. We'll keep him strong and just hope for the best there. And then we got the House of Torture against the Foundation, as we're set this for Steal the Shows. Drew Parker's going to get the win there. And I'm assuming this is the Technical Masterclass match. It is. So cool. So Taguchi's going to get the win for 108 against Suzuki-gun, who have yet to pick up a win. They probably shouldn't have been in this either, but they're just a little over enough still to where they're at least there to lose, basically, is the idea. It'll help put guys over, as John Silver's going to be beating the Velocities there. That's going to be 2 points for the Dark Order. We'll take a look at the standings after this show, actually after the next show is run. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good format, and let's run the show. So 53 for the opener, 108 against Yoshida Kanemaru and El Desperado, as Taguchi with the crossface chicken wing face busted the Dodan. in 16:10. Best guy in the match by far. No one was really close. Despy was like 20 points behind him, as almost 20 points behind him. But yeah, I mean that's more like 16. But 53 though for the opener, 42 though for Alex Reynolds and John Silver against the Velocities. Not enough pop. Thought it was going to be enough pop, but I mean, John Silver at least did pretty well. So did Alex Reynolds. Velocities did pretty well too. Just wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough as far as popularity wise. But John Silver with the Enziguri in 11:45, 66 for House of Torture against Myron Reed and Christian Casanova, as Drew Parker getting the win with the Bloody Dragon over Christian Casanova. Obviously, this is just for Ishimori doesn't need the win in this matchup. This could be a great elevation match for Drew Parker. So 60 for Roppongi 3K against Mexa Blood. Yeah, Roppongi 3K, I mean, they outperformed Ray Horace. It just really came down to Ryu Lee, which Yo was pretty close, though. So that's great for Yo. And for Roppongi 3K there. So 72, which, yeah, this could have definitely been the main. As Lucha Brothers against Alex Shelley and Kaiju D'Amato. Which, I mean, probably shouldn't have won. As far as Phoenix, definitely outperformed him. And Pentagon Jr. came really close. As Shelley with the Border City stretch over the Junior Tag Champs. It's a great win, though, for Alex Shelley and Kaiju D'Amato, as they get the win in 1953. In our main event, it is a 65. Goto again off his game. Really, Fred Yai moment was a little too big for him, probably, but they probably shouldn't retain the belts either. But that's their fourth defense, and they get the win as Power E, getting the win by getting the big ending on Hiroki Goto. At least he outperformed him, so that at least that made sense. Yeah, not bad. We're really trying with the foundation. We're trying to help get those guys elevated in a big way, and they're beating a lot of teams they probably shouldn't be beating for the most part, which is probably not a great sign. But that's their fourth defense of the Never Openweight 6-man tag team titles. So we keep it rolling to day 4, as I want to say there is a bit of a break in between. I keep on forgetting the schedule that's lined up here, but that's okay. So we'll just stop the recording, and we'll get you guys for day 4. Alright, day 4, as we got a couple of backstage incidents. Nakata passing on microphone work to the Great Okan, and then Tomarishi passing on psychology to Tomoya Harada. Alright, so yeah, we have been just everywhere, obviously, in this whole, basically the entire fall has been just jam-packed with shows. We had the G1 to kind of get the end of fall, kind of, late August, towards the end of that G1, and then you had the King of Wrestling, the fucking Royal Quest. It just keeps on going. We just have a jam-packed schedule. As for our main event, it's going to be United Empire Chaos matchup. And, again, that's why we went away from the United Empire just for this match alone, this 8-man, as Okada's going to be beating Lee Moriarty. So we did this kind of as a 6-man, actually. We didn't have Francesco in, I want to say maybe it was Moriarty. We did this on Strong. It was a 6-man. And we had Gresham get the win over Robbie Eagles. So it's nice to get the other side of the coin here in that main event. That should be a really good match, though. Co-main event is definitely this, Mexa Blood versus Lucha Brothers, as the Lucha Brothers are going to be beating Mexa Blood. That's a huge win for them, as Pentagon Jr. is going to beat Ray Horace. And then, I know this is the opener. I know it's the Technical Masterclass match. As far as, we're kind of an interesting point now, because really, this should probably be the Technical Masterclass match, maybe. But we're going to have this be here, as Ishimori is going to get the win over Suzuki-gun. Now we could kind of do whatever, as far as if it's going to be Reynolds and Silver, if it's going to be Velocities or Roppongi 3K. I think it's going to be Roppongi 3K against the Velocities. Steal the show, as Yo is going to get the win over the Velocities. Alex Reynolds, John Silver against Myron Reed, and Christian Casanova. As Myron Reed's going to beat Alex Reynolds. It's a huge win for the Foundation, as they've never had a match before, so that's cool. Given that 14, and then Shelley and Kaiju D'Amato against 1 or 8 in a Technical Masterclass match, as Kaiju D'Amato's going to be beating Master Wato in 17 minutes there. As we save and rerun the show. 62 opener, not bad at all. It's Alex Shelley, best guy in the match, As, Kaiju Yamato with Red Eye in 1729 over Master Wado. 42. Bit of a drop, but Christian Casanova's in the 50s now, so that's cool. Myron Reed, a little behind though still, as he probably should have just had Casanova beat Alex Reynolds, but had we known, the performance is there, we could have changed it up. But Myron Reed, though, does get the win in 14-10 with the colored splash in 14-10. So 55 for the velocities against Roppongi 3K, as Roppongi 3K get the wins. Yo pins Paris de Silva, I'm assuming, after a super kick. It's not bad, though. Not bad at all. They're just almost in the same boat. Just Yo's just a little bit better than everybody else in that match. It's a 60 for House of Torture against Suzuki-gun, as Taiji Shimoi pinning Despy after the Bloody Dragon in 1739. Yes, really good stuff there from the House of Torture team. It's a 67 for Mexa Blood against the Lucha Brothers. Everybody did really, really well, but Ray Horace is just in way over his head as Mexa Blood take the fall. It's Pentagon Jr. pinning Ray Horace after the package power driver foot stomp combination. So, yeah, I mean, Pentagon Jr.'s been getting a lot of wins. We're just trying to get him some good momentum and stuff. There is a 75 for our main. For this 8-man, as Chaos beating United Empire, as Kazuchika Okada pinning Lee Moriarty after the Rainmaker in 2109. So Gresham almost was the worst guy in the match. It was actually not even, because Rocky and Robbie were still worse than him. So Lee Moriarty was a 50. Actually, Francesco with 47 is the worst guy in the match. As Okada with an 86, though, best guy in the match by far. He's 10 points better than Zach. But Makabe did really well as the third best guy. A lot of 50s there. It's not bad at all. Definitely Okada being the guy, though. That's awesome. That's a great performance. And yeah, we got a 72. It's not bad at all. Definitely need to increase in these regions here, specifically Canada, British regions, and European and Oceania regions. That would be great if we can upgrade those in the future. Not a bad show, though. So we're at the halfway point. As far as for 4 shows in, we got 5 left, and I'm very, very excited to see how this one turns out. Though this has so far been a pretty good Super Junior Tag League. We haven't had any bad shows per se, so that's great. Obviously, we're very fortunate in having a roster like we've had, where obviously we're a year in, and we're really, the amount of matches and shows we've ran. I mean, we've probably ran well over 1,000 matches easily, and which is pretty crazy to think about. As I'm just kind of guess with Halloween, spooky day. As far as the tournament, standings look like this. So Alex Shelley and Kaiju Yamato and House of Torture been undefeated so far, 4-0 for both teams. Roppongi 3K is in second with 6. Their one loss coming against Alex Shelley and Kaiju Yamato. And then we got Alex Reynolds and John Silver of Dark Order, the tag champs of the Lucha Brothers, and 1-8 with 4 points. 2 points for the Foundation and the Velocities, and then 0 points for Suzuki, and also 2 points for Mexa Blood team of Ray Horace and Ryu Lee. So far, been a pretty good Super Junior Tag League, if I do say so myself. As we'll catch you guys for day 5. Alright, so day 5, as I think I forgot to change the Golden Dragons match. God damn it. But we got a lot of backstage incidents here. So Cobb is the first one, as he turned up so wasted on hard drugs he had to be sent home. Holy shit. Wow, Jeff Cobb. As, yeah, I don't know if we should send him to rehab or definitely suspend him. I think a suspension's kind of necessary here. That's crazy. Wow. Jesus Christ, Jeff Cobb. Yeah, a lot of people are pleased by that. I mean, yeah, that definitely makes sense. It's Alex Reynolds and Tristan Thunder Liger. Reynolds was brought for Wrestler's Court, accused of not joining the rest of the locker room for a night out, as the judge, Tristan Thunder Liger, found him guilty and sentenced by drinks right after the show. Then Milano Collection AT, passing on tips on psychology to his protege, Yazutaka Yano. Alright. So, let's change this while we're here. This is definitely going to be the co-main. And that's a huge win for Alex Shelley and Kaiju Yamato, though, as they are going to be beating Taiji Shimori and Drew Parker of House of Torture. As, yeah, Shelley beating Drew Parker. It's going to be great. And As far as the main event, definitely this Task Force Death LIJ match. It's 6-man. As Pac is going to beat the the Intercontinental champ. Gonna keep him strong though, and this is just a way to help boost up Pac before their title match. But yeah, it's definitely the co-main. Yeah, that's definitely there. And then for, I was thinking Lucha Brothers, Velocities. Could also do 108 against Max of Blood. Either way kind of works out. We're going to go with this match, though, I think. As Max of Blood's going to beat 108, as Ryu Lee's going to get the win. Maybe not, though. We'll see with the Lucha Brothers match against Velocity. So, yeah, I gave it 16. Pentagon Jr.'s going to get the win. I think we'll keep it as that, actually. This could be really well, too, as Roppongi 3K against Alex Reynolds and John Silver, as Roppongi 3K are going to take the loss, though, as Alex Reynolds and John Silver are going to get the win. Let's keep this as decisive as well. So, show's now unhappy about the decisive finish. We'll keep you strong. There we go. And then our opener leaves us this technical masterclass, which is not going to work out well, but Despy will be getting the win for Suzuki-gun. They get their first win, as they're going to beat the Foundation. I don't know how I feel about that match. That match might suck. There's a very good, strong possibility it will. Yeah, I think we're going to keep it as is, how we have it. And just say, fuck it. So we can run Korakuen, which I think we're going to. Or we can maybe run somewhere else. We're going to run Komazawa Gymnasium. It's just, it's Korakuen. Like, we should definitely run Korakuen this tour at some point. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of curious to see where all we can run. Yeah, we can run like Osaka. That'd probably be for the best to run this show in Osaka. Alrighty. Let's run the show. Yeah, 29. Worst match yet of this Super Junior Tag League, as Despy gets the win. He's the best guy in the match, but it's a shit show. Brought the crowd down. It sucked. Absolutely sucked. 51 now for the next matchup, as John Silver, best guy in the match. He gets the win, pinning Show with the Enziguri in 14:05 rather. It's Alex Reynolds, worst guy in the match. Rocky did some good work ringside. Announcers did a good job boosting that up too. It's a 70 for the Lucha Brothers against the Velocities here. This is a really fun match, as Pentagon Jr. getting the win in 16:02. Yeah, Phoenix with an 80. Some good stuff there. Good stuff. Yeah, 62. I had a feeling that wasn't going to outperform that match. I should have known. Definitely should have known, as Ryu Lee getting the win over Taguchi in 17:41. Master Wato still in the high 30s. Still can't get him in the 40s. 69 though, so yeah, that was the Velocities Lucha Brothers match. The best thing on the card so far. Z Ishimori, not involved in the finish, even though he was the best guy in the matches. Alex Shelley tapping out Drew Parker with the 40 City stretch. Wrong team won. Should have probably been House of Torture there. Mainly because, they were the better team, but also I think it would have been better to have them keep on going on the undefeated streak. But, yeah, now Alex Shelley and Gaiji Yamato will have the lone #1 spot. 80 main event, though, as Pac pinning Hiromu after the 6:30. Yeah, Hiromu was 84, 85 for Naito, 81 for Pac. Worst guy in the match was Sonata. He had a 71, which is not bad at all. That just shows you how talented that match is. So that's some good stuff there. That was some very good stuff. Another pretty successful show. Just could have flipped that and that. This would have been even better of a show, but it was only a 1-point difference. It's not too bad. But we have like one of the best matches of the tournament and the worst match of the tournament on the same card. Gotta love that. Gotta love the duality. As now we have another strong taping the book, and we'll be back for another Super Junior Tag League tournament round matchup, as we have even more stuff to go through as far as the strong taping. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but we'll figure it out, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll still be a pretty good show. Alrighty, so for day 6, I think again I have to change. Let's see. Yep, I have to change that. But as far as where we want to run the show, we could probably run Corked here, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I think this could be the Corked show. Because this is a, well, let's take a look, because this is the main. It's an 8-man Dark Order Task Force Death. Brody's going to beat Pac after Pac just beat Hiromu there to kind of balance everything out. As obviously we have, tag team title matchup there, but also having, Hobbs and Entanglement involved. And yeah, it's interesting because obviously we have champions on this side, and no champions but one, in Brody being the Never Open champion. So I just felt like if someone were to win from the Dark Order side, it'd definitely have to be Brody. But that's a pretty fun match as far as that goes. Yeah, I mean, this is a great co-main. This is also a pretty good co-main as well in the Lucha Brothers matchup in Dark Order. But we're going to go with Mex of Blood and House of Torture, as Mex of Blood's going to beat House of Torture here. That's a huge win over the House of Torture team. It's Riley Lee going to get the win. It's going to be 26 minutes. As Golden Dragons, not so fast. Of course, that's going to be Shelly and Kaji D'Amato. As they get another win. As Shelly, I guess it could be Kaji D'Amato. Actually, yeah, we'll have Kaji beat Yoshida Kanemaru. Technical Masterclass matchup. Then Reynolds and Silver against the Lucha Brothers. Probably be next. Is Phoenix going to get the win? As it doesn't really matter who loses there, but Phoenix getting the win over Dark Order. Roppongi 3K against Myron Reed and Christian Casanova. Show's going to get the win there over the Foundation. And the Velocities, 1 or 8, could probably go either way, but we went with the Velocities taking the fall, or actually, no, Velocity getting the win, rather. That's right, as Jude London's going to beat Master Wato, which I think that's for the best there. So we got a lot going on in the right direction, as I forgot to change to make it to where that's Liberty United. There we go. Yeah, but I think that's a pretty good show. I think we're all set, though, besides, obviously, now, yeah, a lot of people being used way too much. That might be a mistake. As I guess we could maybe take some time off this match, give it 24 minutes instead. Not like it matters. But I think it's still going to be a pretty good show, though. So 62 for the opener, as Shelly and Kaiji D'Amato beating Yoshida Kanemaru and El Desperado, as Kaiji D'Amato with the Tomato Vine at 15:53. Not bad at all. 53 for the Velocities against Master Wato and Raisuke Taguchi of 1 or 8. As, yeah, I mean, Taguchi almost got outperformed by the Velocities there, especially Jude London. But that's some good stuff. Jude London getting the win in 12:54. 52 for Roppongi 3K against the Foundation. 41s, 51s, as Yo was off his game a little bit, but Show with the Shock Arrow for Myron Reed in 15:46. 67 for Alex Reynolds and John Silver against the Lucha Brothers, as, yeah, again, Pentagon Jr. is really, he's still a little bit behind Ray Phoenix, but I feel like he's definitely improved since he's been injured. I think he's really hitting his stride. As Phoenix beats Alex Reynolds with the package pile driver foot stomp combination, 17:01. So that's good stuff there for the Lucha Brothers. 66 from Mex of Blood and House of Torture, as Ryu Lee pinning Drew Parker. It's pretty close, though. I mean, at least Ray Horse is in the 50s now, but definitely the wrong team wins. But that's an upset, though, as Ryu Lee getting the win in 24:27. It's a 75 main event. Pretty great 8-man. It's Brody with the Brody Bomb over Pac. So yeah, Pac was an 80. I mean, he did the same as Ashino as far as the best guys in the match. Kenta with a 78, 72 for Joe, 71 for Brody. Yeah, and then obviously the Dark Order team. So it's a big win, though, for Brody, though, nonetheless. Beating Pac like that. It's pretty awesome. Man, 72 there, as we'll take it. Glad to take that. So we just have 3 more tour shows to book, 7, 8, and 9. We'll take a look at the tournament standings here. We'll go through the tournament standings basically after every show now. Now that we're coming down to the wire. But Smash Mouth, Richie Taylor as an MCW guy. I always love this. This is just very out of context. Ultimo Dragon with the Toriyama mascot. Backstage promo. This was when Ultimo came back a couple years ago. So wow, this loading screen's taking forever. So I was about to say, I think we could have just probably stopped it, but that's okay. I wanted to look through the tournament standings here as, I mean, yeah, Alex Shelley, Kaji Tomato, I think it's safe to say they're going to be the #1 team in this, but it's still, a lot could still happen, though, because House of Torture, Lucha Brothers, and Roppongi 3K all have 8 points, and there's 3 matches left, so let's say Shelley and Tomato lose their last 3 here. Could very well see a changing of the leader, even though they have, let's say they lose to Mexa Blood, Myron Reed, and Christian Casanova and the Velocity somehow. That'd be huge. That'd be a huge get for those teams. A lot can happen, though. But still, I think it's still an interesting race to see who's going to be the second team. Is it going to be the tag champs and Lucha Brothers? Is it going to be House of Torture? And Drew Parker and Daiji Shimura are going to be Roppongi 3K. Mexa Blood still a bit behind. Dark Order with 6. Velocities with 4 is nice to see. Same thing with 108 with 4. Then 2 points for Despy in the Foundation. On to day 7 we go. Alrighty, day 7. Oh, they got us in Cork. What are the odds? As Kazuchika Okada passing on Psychology Tips to Yuto Nakashima. Milano Collection AT passing on Selling Tips to Yasu Takayano. And then Katsuri Shibata passing on Psychology to Kento Koben. Which is nice to have Kento Koben involved in this because, oh no, that's not this night. It's another night. Whatever night it is. I think it's day 8, maybe. I don't think it's day 9, but I think it is day 8. That's going to be Kendo Coleman's, farewell, match before he goes on excursion, because I think he's ready for it. He's done really well for us. It's been about 2 years since we've had him, and I think it's just time. It's been time to send him off and see where he flies his little wings to. I think we're going to send him to AEW again, because I think that's just the best place to send our young lions that we think are going to be really good, to really help them out. Because I was thinking Impact, but I don't know. I just don't think it's going to work out the way we would like. Yeah, we've been kind of everywhere, so I guess it's just going to be here to the Prefectural Sports Center. So this is an interesting one, because it's, Okada with Harada, and then Zack with Great-O-Khan, and Harada's going to beat Great-O-Khan there. I don't know. I hope it works out well. I probably could have had Okada beat O-Khan, but I wanted to probably could also have had O-Khan get the win here, because they've been kind of losing a lot. United Empire against Chaos. I don't know why I hit match history, but because Harada does have he's a little bit more popular. He's not a young lion anymore. Great-O-Khan could really use that win, I think, in a big, big way. So I think we're going to change it. I think we're going to have O-Khan beat him. I think that's for the best there. As to the Super Junior Tag League, this is probably the co-main. Lucha Brothers, Roppongi 3K. As the Lucha Brothers are going to be beating the Roppongi 3K team, as Phoenix is going to be beating Yo. It's a good match, though. As let's change this match around, since we know it's going to be. So wow, so the Foundation are going to get the win, and we're going to keep that, as they're going to beat Myra Reed's going to beat Kaji Tomato. Maybe should give it to Christian Casanova. I think that's probably for the best, actually. So Kaji Tomato, Alex Shelley. This is a fun match, though, for Christian Casanova to get a win over Kaji Tomato. I mean, this is a great, very upsetty thing. I think we're going to have this set to steal the show, too. Just to really put it over the edge, because I think this is going to be a really good match. I think it's going to be great. As Alex Reynolds, John Silver, 108. I figured that was going to be the technical masterclass match. We'll go ahead and add that as well. It's Taguchi going to get the win for the 108 team against Dark Order, which I believe Dark Order beat him last year, so that was why I wanted to give him the win this time around. It's a 49 when we did it last year. It should be a little bit better this time around. This is a really good match. House of Torture against Velocities. This could have also been a Steal the Show match, absolutely, but we're going to just keep it as a normal match. Drew Parker's going to get the win over the Velocities. And then Kanemaru and Despy, Mexa Blood. This could actually been the technical masterclass match, if we're being honest. So we're going to have it be that, as Ray Horse is going to beat Despy there. Give it like 7. Nah, we'll keep it 16. So yeah, we'll change this around. As, yeah, we'll have that be normal match. Taguchi beating Reynolds. Yeah, I mean, I got faith in it. I got faith in a lot of these matches, that's for sure. I think this is going to be better, though. Yeah, I like it, though. This is a really good showing. My God, there's a lot of people being used way too much. That's the thing about the Super Junior Tag League. We give a lot of guys a lot of opportunities that they probably wouldn't be getting normally. And I still stand by our decision. So 56 for the Techno Masterclass match of Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado against Mexa Blood here, as Despy taking the Super Hurricane round of Ray Horace, who did really well. You know, they had 47-62. That's a pretty good performance there from Mexa Blood. 55 for Dark Order against 108, as Taguchi with a Vertebreaker, holy shit, on Alex Reynolds. Taguchi with the 58, best guy in the match. Alex Reynolds off his game. Definitely deserved to lose that one, but Master Wado's just so far behind. It's a shame, really. As a 64 for Myron Reed and Christian Casanova against Alex Shelley and Kaiji D'Amato, as Christian Casanova getting the win over Kaiji D'Amato. They both did 46s. It's some pretty good stuff. You know, just obviously big upset there. And the Liberty United taking their first loss against the Foundation. It's a 65 for House of Torture against the Velocities. Stu Parker pinning Paris Day Silva with the Blade Dragon 14-27. So 71 for Taiji Shimura, 54 for Drew Parker, 49 for Paris Day Silva, 48 for Drew London. Not bad at all. 72 for Lucha Brothers against Roppongi 3K, as it, you know, again, Ray Phoenix and Benagon Jr. just being tremendous. It's Phoenix getting the one with the package pile driver after the foot stomp in 26:05. Probably should have had Show take the fall there, but that's okay. Either way, it's fine. Main event, that's a 75. I'm very, very surprised. It was Okada Xavier Jr. just carrying this one for sure, as Okan with a Cobra Clutch over Tomoya Harada in 2021. Pretty close though, 42s, 40s for those guys, and Okada just being the goddamn man. It's awesome. Yeah, desperately needed that. We're getting saved by main events a lot of times, but the Lucha Brothers matches have been really, really good, though, too. At the same time, in that same breath. So we'll take a look at the standings. And, again, you know, we just have a couple of more days left as far as for this tournament. And it's been really well. You know, no one's really been seriously hurt, thank God. We've had really some good performances. I definitely could have been better had we have added a United Empire junior team, for sure. But I think adding the Foundation and the Velocities, I think it means a little bit more, having those guys be involved. Instead of a team that's been the junior tag champs twice now already, just in this calendar year, so I think it's for the best, you know, as far as that goes. A lot of taking time. So I'm not going to show you who's joining here, because there is some people joining the roster. A lot of crazy things have been happening. It's throughout this save. Not throughout the save, just throughout this episode specifically. But I do want to check and see, because Victor got hurt, so he's just fine for a little bit longer. There's someone that's going to be on the chopping block. I think when the calendar year kind of rolls over, the wasteland, you know, both Jericho Kratos and Victor and Connor Kratos, I mean, they're definitely going to be gone. I think we've used them to the best of their ability. You know, we've helped elevate a lot of teams with them, and now it's time to move on, I think, as for the tournament standings. So Shelley and Tomato, even though they lost, they're still, you know, still in the lead, but they're just one match behind. And if they lose again, could really open up a pretty unique scenario, because let's say House of Torture and Lucha Brothers and Shelley and Tomato, they all tie. Obviously, they're going to have the win advantage over House of Torture and Lucha Brothers. But when it comes to those, you know, as far as House of Torture has beaten Lucha Brothers, so it would be those two advancing to the finals, which is pretty interesting. It's Mexa Blood and Roppongi 3K. They have a good chance of finishing with more than 10 points. So that's nice for them. 1 or 8 with 6, so it is Dark Order. Velocities and the Foundation with 4, and Suzuki Gunstu with 2, which is surprisingly even 1-1. But they still have Dark Order, and they still have the Velocities left, so maybe they'll finish with 4 as well. We shall see. As on to day 8 we go. Alright, final 2 days left of the tour. as we'll have to change that. But that's a, I mean, really good match in Mex of Blood against Liberty United. As Homicide was brought before wrestler's court, accusing the fail to pick up his share of the tab of the shared rental car. The judge, Jushin Thunder Liger, found him guilty and sentenced to pay the full cost and reimburse his travel partners. As Okada has been passing on tips on using psychology to his protege Yuto Nakashima. As for this show, our main event will probably be this. This is the match. This is the Kendo Koben farewell matchup as Kendo Koben and Kota Ibushi are going to take on Shingo and Bushi. As Bushi's going to be Kendo Koben, and yeah, it's a little so long farewell, young lion. We'll see you on the other side. As we'll change the venue while we're thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, this day 2 was the last time we ran here. Oh, no, Chubu's fine. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, let's run here. Since we ran the other place last time. You know, it's always a safe bet for that to be the co-main, having any type of Lucha Brothers match, it seems like. But this should be a really, really good match in Mex of Blood against Alex Shelley and Kaji D'Amato of Liberty United. It's tough because I think it would really be a fun story had Liberty United lose here, because you would make it 12, and I think for just the sake of making a better story here, let's have Ryu Lee beat Alex Shelley. That's a huge win for Ryu Lee, and that's a fun little match. Yeah, I mean, Shelley's going to be a little upset by it, but we'll keep him strong. Yeah, I definitely think that's a really good co-main for sure. And then we can go with the Lucha Brothers, Myron Reed, Christian Cash. Oh, so we have the set for Steal a Show. Phoenix getting the win. That should be fun. Dark Order, House of Torture. Dark Order beating House of Torture, so that's going to be interesting there. As they're going to just keep it 10. So Lucha Brothers and Shelley and Tomato are going to be tied for first. So that's awesome. That is pretty cool. As that's a huge win for Dark Order. Roppongi 3K, 1 or 8. This is the Techno Masterclass. Master Wato over Show. I can't. We've tried with Master Wato so many times, and it just has not fucking worked. Might as well go for something else. Velocities versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru and El Desperado, as the Velocities are going to get the win over Suzuki-gun. That's a great win for the Velocities there. Just going to make sure if everything's good to go, we can run the show. It's for day 8. I mean, this is a lot of crazy upsets. But Roppongi 3K over 1 or 8, as Sho and Yo beating Master Wato, and Raisuke Taguchi as Sho with the Shock Arrow over Master Wato in 15:57. 39, yeah, just not enough pop there, but Jude London and Paris De Silva did outperform the Suzuki-gun team, as Jude London getting the win to 13:03. 66 for Alex Reynolds and John Silver against House of Torture, as Dark Order beating the House of Torture team, and John Silver and Drew Parker did the exact same. So could have went either way there. That's awesome, even though obviously Alex Reynolds and John Silver were the worst team of the two. That's a great upset, though, as John Silver getting the win in 17:41. 68 for the Lucha Brothers and Foundation matchup, as Ray Phoenix getting the win after the Package File Driver foot stomp combination, 12:55. Some good stuff there. That's be a fun match, though, in real life. As a 61, wow, I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I thought it was going to be a lot better than that. But, I mean, literally the exact same. Could have went either way, as Max of Blood getting the win, as Ryu Lee getting a big pinfall victory over Alex Shelley. They did the same performance-wise, so I like that. I like that a lot. So our main event, though, and SB Kento, as Kento Koben's farewell to the other side for Kento Koben as he takes the Ashi Road in 2020. You know, a young lion starting off, leaving it as a 42, that's not bad. That's not a bad way to end out your young lion phase. Probably could have kept it going a little longer, obviously. Probably could have kept him being a young lion for another year or so. But just felt like it was time. You know, it felt like it was time to send him on his way. Kota Ibushi, though, with 82. Shingo with a 72. Bushi with a 61. Not bad at all. As the show increased our popularity by 3 regions. Not bad. Not bad at all. Another just main event saving this tour. That's been basically the theme of this entire tour. Very much so. Very, very much so. As we'll see what happens on this final night here of the tour. This final tour of the block settings, of the block matches rather. As you know, so far we've now had quite the final race here. As you know, for Liberty United going on an incredible run and now losing back-to-back nights. It's been a lot of fun. Man, it's crazy to think how long these loading times have been happening now. So we got so let's see where we're at as far as our tournament settings, our standings. So yeah, I got Kaji D'Amato, Alex Shelley, and Lucha Brothers tied going into the final night. Now obviously they still have the win over them, but let's say they lose again. That's going to be quite dramatic, as that would be a crazy way to end this out, as they still got the velocities left. You know, losing to the Foundation was already crazy enough. They're going to lose to the velocities as well. Lucha Brothers, you know, they have 1 or 8 left. House of Torture, Mechs of Blood, and Roppongi 3K all with 10. It's crazy. I mean, this is quite the final race here. So Dark Order's looking to get 10 points. They got Despi and Kanemaru, rather, of Suzuki-gun. You have Velocities. You know, of course, they have the Kaiji D'Amato, Alex Shelley matchup, and looking to play the spoiler role for them. A lot going on, as we got New Japan Strong the book, and then we'll be back for day 9. Alright, the final day of the tour here, as we have quite the main event. Kota Ibushi and Pac against Shingo and Hiromu. As we got some backstage incidents as well. That's Yuji Nagata with the Great Okan passing on psychology tips to Okan, and then Milano Collection AT passing on microphone work to Yazutaka Yano. Alrighty, so for this show, we kind of want to stay out of Kanto. That'd probably be for the best. I actually had the strong taping happen in Japan. I really need to change that to where it's automatically in the in Southwest, just so in case I do that, because I've done that a couple of times. I didn't want to kind of fucked over the taping a little bit, but it still worked out. At least it wasn't that big of a deal. As Kyushu, I run this convention center. As yeah, I mean, this is a hell of a main event. It's gonna be a 30-minute time limit draw, though. This time we're actually gonna keep it as that. I mean, because yeah, we got a lot going on in there. I thought about giving Hiromu the win over Pac again. We might do that actually. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think we'll just keep it there. But we'll change this, since we know that it's going to be Shelley and Kaiji D'Amato, as they are going to get the win over the Velocities. So that will basically seal their fate for Liberty United. As, yeah, we'll have Kaiji D'Amato get a win. That's great for them. As then for House of Torture, because that would probably be the next team to really think about, I guess, besides the Lucha Brothers. But Roppongi 3K are going to beat House of Torture. That's huge, as Yo is going to beat Drew Parker. And they will not be going on to the finals. They'll keep at 10, and Roppongi 3K will actually finish with 12. So that's a huge win for Roppongi 3K. As a 108 Lucha Brothers. Lucha Brothers getting the win. So that is the finals. Lucha Brothers versus Alex Shelley and Kaiji D'Amato. That is your finals of the Super Junior Tag League. That's going to be a hell of a match, as Pentagon Jr. is going to beat Master Wato there. There we go. As, yeah, Myron Reed, Christian Casanova against Mechs of Blood. Setting this for Steel the Show. Ray Horace getting the win. That's going to finish them with 12 as well. So a lot of teams with like 12 points. Just Shelley and Kaiji D'Amato with 14. And then Kanemaru and Despi losing to the Dark Order team, as Alex Reynolds are going to beat Yoshida Kanemaru. Tough break for Suzuki-gun, but definitely needed as far as them elevating a lot of teams. Like trying to get them into the path, and that's another 10-point performance for another team. Is Alex Reynolds and John Silver joining the 10-team category. But yeah, I mean, I think that's been a really fun Super Junior tournament. As we'll have this probably be the main, or the co-main rather, instead. Yeah, we'll keep it as that. But it's a really fun tour. Really fun tour. I think everything went well, and all in all, I really have no complaints. As a 33 for the opener, though, not great. Sean Silver and Alex Reynolds beating Suzuki-gun. Not enough pop there. 62, though, for Ray Horace and Ryu Lee against the Foundation. Is Ray Horace is the worst guy in the match, weirdly enough, as Ryu Lee really carrying this one now. Christian Casanova's almost in the 50s now. So was Myron Reed. Really, he improved a lot, because he's awesome, Christian Casanova. We just had to get him really getting going for the Foundation. And I think that tour really helped him. As 68 for this junior tag matchup, as Taiji Shimura and Drew Parker losing to Roppongi 3K, as Yo pinning Drew Parker in 1756. As, yeah, I mean, Yo outperformed Drew Parker, so at least that made sense, but obviously the wrong team as a whole winning there, because Taiji Shimura with the 70. As a 66 for Alex Shelley and Gaiji Yamato against the Velocities, who are now in the 50s, so that's great, as Alex Shelley not getting the win, rather, it's Gaiji Yamato with the Tomato Vine over Jude London in 13:28. It's a great submission win there. The 69 for the Lucha Brothers against 108 as Pentagon Jr. with the Package Power Driver Foot Stomp combination. That's a great win for Lucha Brothers there, as they, 60-75 again. Raisuke Taguchi again outperformed by Pentagon Jr. Master Wato just dragging ass. As an 81 for the 30-minute time limit between the tag match here. Shingo Takagi, worst guy in the match. And he's the one who's destined to face the champion. As of right now, that could change in a couple of days at Power Struggle, though. As that is the end of this show. We have our final set. We have everything ready to go for this show of Power Struggle. And I think it's going to be a hell of a show. Jay White Kenta, Zack Sabre Jr. Okada, Shingo and Ibushi, Hiromu and Pac, like all those 4 matches alone, that could be a main event anywhere. And you have Brody and Evil against the tag champs of Shotaro Ashita and Jadori. That's going to be a really fun match as well. And that tag league, the Super Junior Tag League Finals, that's going to be a really, really good tag match. I'm excited to see how that one goes, and I think we got quite the show ready to go. As we'll stop the recording though, because I think it's on the Sunday. It could be on a Saturday though. Yeah, it is on the Sunday, so we'll stop the recording. Get you guys for that show. Alrighty, so we're gonna probably be. It's weird with Cablevision because I want to just get rid of it, but we might as well keep using it until the deal runs out because it's kind of worthless. But I mean, this should still be a really good show. I mean, obviously if it wouldn't be below 71, which it definitely will be with the main events we have. We got some backstage incidents. It's crazy. I forgot the Yano Naito match happened on this show. Hey, Riley and Phoenix. That Brody and Joe Doring match. Yeah, that was fun. It's the best thing on the card. As Flamito Smart before Wrestler's Court accused of failing to pick up a share of the tab of the shared rental car, the judge Jushin Thunder Liger found him guilty and sentenced to pay the full cost and reimburse his travel partners. Is Kojima passing on selling tips to his protege, Hayato Tamura, who still is on excursion. I know it's kind of weird. But you can sign someone to a handshake deal kind of within the parameters of their however long their excursion is. So it's a little cheap way of being like, hey, we can send him to AEW, but also still use him too. Which I don't think we're going to do for Kento Koben, but we'll definitely do for, with Hayato Tamura, because he's involved in quite a special little match as far as that goes. But let's make sure 60,000 on hand. We could run the National Stadium and be about 20,000 shy. We could run the Tokyo Dome, of course, and be full capacity, no problem. Kind of want to run the National Stadium. It's 20,000 shy of a sellout, but that's still a lot of fucking people. I think we got to do it. I mean, it's got to happen. That's going to be a lot of fun. So Jay White Kenta, main event. It's going to go 34. Kenta's going to get the win. So, I think it's a great match to have a power struggle main event. We talked about it already, but we'll have Red Shoes as the ref, though. It's the co-main. Zack Sabre Jr., Kazuchika Okada, U.S. title matchup. Okada will be getting the win again. And, because their first match was a 90. It was day 12, it was July. So it's nice to have that be done again. Can Zack get the win? No, he does not, though, unfortunately. But that's still a great match, though. And then, I want to say it's the Ibushi Shingo match, which is another great match. And for the briefcase rights, to face the champion. Shingo's going to get the win, though. He's going to beat Kota Ibushi there, which is pretty great. I kind of want to tell a story in the fact of having Kota Ibushi not want the Bucks to help him. The Bucks come out and try to, distract, Shingo, try to get the upper hand. But it ends up distracting Kota Ibushi more than anything, because he's like, no, don't do it, and he wants to win this fair and square. And that type of story being told, I think it's pretty, I think it could be pretty on brand with what the story can be, I think, to tell in the future, as far as for that, with a nice little story being told for that match. And then Pac and Hiromu, with Hiromu beating Pac, and that's another great win for Hiromu, and that's another great performance, because that's going to be, his 5th defense? Yeah, he's had the belt since February, and that's been a great run as champ. He's kind of carrying what Naito did, as far as having almost a year-long reign. He's close to it now already. He just has to, see what happens at Wrestle Kingdom, but that's going to be a lot of fun there, as then the Brody, Lee, and Evil tag match against Task Force Death, which Task Force Death are going to get the win. Another great reign for them. Task Force Death, they've been the champs for over 200 days now. That'll be their 5th defense as well, which they've been the champs since April, so that's not bad at all, after Sonata and Shingo. Then we got Shelly and Kaiju D'Amato, Lucha Brothers. I almost put this for the Junior Heavyweight Tag title, the Super Junior Tag League, as Rey Fenix. Pentagon Jr. will get the win as the Junior Tag Champs. They'll be joining, because I want to say last year's winner was Ishimori and Phantasma. Yes, it was. So they'll be joining them. First Lucha team to win, so that's cool. But that's definitely going to be better than the 60, so that prestige is going to go up too, so that's awesome. Really looking forward to that. That should be a banger of a matchup. Is another tag match, Sonata, Naito against, we're going to try this out, because we'll see. I wanted to try this out during the tour, but the tour was a little bit, main event heavy, to where I didn't want to fuck it up. But this, we can get away with it. We're going to keep it at 20, so at least it's not going to be like, oh, match is too short. We'll see how it works, though, as Sonata's going to get his win back over Yano in a Steal the Show match there. And then a Technical Masterclass, we got new champs. As they did it, the prophecy's been fulfilled. Hayato Tamura with Tenkoji beat the Foundations. Kojima's going to beat Power E, which is going to lead to a singles match between the two. That's going to be fun. And Kojima getting the win for his team. Love it. Yeah, I figured he was going to be a little unhappy about that, so we'll keep him strong, but I just love it. I love that they're finally champs, and I wanted to wait for so long. I didn't want him to still be a young lion in Hayato Tamura, but this is a great way of doing it, and still protecting him in a way where it's going to work. As for the undercard here, we got a lot of guys that are not on this card, like a lot of things we've done so far. As far as I was thinking having a House of Torture, either 6-man or 8-man. I will say this. I think we're going to use, let's see, let's go, yeah. That makes sense. We could go with Miro and maybe not Brody, but we'll go with Brody King, though. Strong Style Riders, because Kingston's the #1 contender for Miro's never openweight title matchup, or the New Japan Strong Openweight title. And so we'll have Shota Umino. And then for his 4th guy, who's going to join him, that's a good question. It is Very, very good question. So I was thinking having a young lion be that guy. Maybe Yui Mora, just to have him be on the card. I think that might be what we do. 16 minutes there, and we're going to have Kingston beat Brody. There we go. Oh, let's see. It's probably Marty Asami, so we'll probably... Yep, that was it. As for the other pre-show matchup, I think we're going to have it be a tag. Let's see here. So I am wanting to get rid of JR Kratos and Connor Kratos. We had Connor put over somebody, because he's pretty over as far as in the U.S. So we're going to keep on doing that if we can, even though it's a pre-show matchup. But I was thinking Josh and Tom Lawler, and yeah, they have awful chemistry. That's okay, though. That is okay. Because Josh is going to be Connor Kratos, and yeah. Not the greatest of matches, but gets the job done. And they have Marty Asami as the ref for this as well. Justin King can be the ref there. So we got our Power Struggle show. National Stadium, 60,000 on hand. That's a lot of fucking people. We'll see how it goes. 56, though. Even though they have absolutely zero chemistry, you know, Josh doing his thing, carrying this one, and Filthy Tom still did better than everybody on the other side, too. So Josh Alexander with a TKO in 10:02. 62 for this 8-man, as Kingston beating Brody King with a sliding D. So yeah, Kingston with a 56. Brody with a 40. Miro, best guy in the match for sure. And then Drew Parker was the second best guy. Or third best guy, rather, as Ishimura was the second best guy. And Homicide did a little better than Brody King. And yeah, just the Young Lions, the former Young Lions, are still trying to find their footing. You know, Yui Mora and Shota Umino. So 53, though, for the opener, as our new Never Avoid 6-man champs. Say out to Tomorrow, best guy in the match. And, Kojima did better than Power E, but he didn't do better than Fred Yehi. So the wrong team probably won, but I think it was the right decision, though, to finally get these guys the belts. 59,000 on hand. That sucks, but still, there's a lot of people, though. So 77 for this, and it did work. So, yeah. There we go. Good to know for the future. Because it's weird, because, I think it's from TEW 2016. I'm still thinking of that because it used to be 15 was the cap for those matches, but now they changed it. And I'm still, even though it's been 2 years and I've played this game a lot, it's still, I'm just like so kind of programmed to think like that. But no, it works out well. So there we go. There's 92 with an 85, 71 for Sonata, 64 for Ishii, and 56 for Torian. 79 for Alex Shelley and Kaiji Tamato against the Lucha Brothers. Right decision there, as the right team wins, and the Junior Tag Champs win the Super Junior Tag League. Even though they lost to this team already, and they've lost to House of Torture as well, so there can be some future title matches to be had as well. For sure. As a 77 for Brody Lee and Evil against Ritoru Shino and Joe Doring, as a Shino and Joe Doring make a defense number 5. It's Brody outperforms Joe Doring, but, Evil way behind, but that's a great performance for Satoru Shino. Interesting, Joe Doring is kind of falling apart a little bit here. Inconsistency for both him and Satoru Shino. Still a pretty good match, though. As a 90 for our Intercontinental title matchup, as Hiromu Takahashi and Pac have a banger. An absolute banger, as Hiromu getting the win in 26-29 as he beats Pac with the time bomb in 26-29. Is an 82 for Kota Ibushi and Shingo Takagi, as Shingo does in fact beat Kota Ibushi there, even though he gets a 92. The story, of Kota Ibushi, as far as not wanting to go with the elite way, it's really been it's showing forth here as the Bucks trying to help him out, but he doesn't have it. Not having it. As a 99, holy fucking shit, as definitely our best match ever, as Kazuchika Okada makes his 5th defense of the U.S. title as he beats Zack Sabre Jr. in 31 minutes. As Okada has a 95, 88 for Zack Sabre Jr. Announcing desk Shinpei tried. Shinpei Nogami, he's in way over his head though. But that's still a really, really great match. That's gonna be tough to beat. As far as we'll see what they do at 75. Well, that sucks. That's their third defense though of the IWGP Heavyweight Title for Kenta. As Kenta with the Kenta combo ends up a Psycho knee at 33-39. Man, oh man, what a night though, huh? We get a 99 minutes to co-main, and it can't beat that heavyweight title. Man, that sucks because we had like great match and then great match again, and that sucks. But hell of a night though, hell of a night for Okada and Zack Sabre Jr. and for Hiromu Takahashi and Pac. Yeah, that was crazy. Still a great show, an 80. We'll gladly take it. Obviously, if this was like the main event though, this show is way, way better. But we'll gladly take it. As a man, who to put over? I mean, we'll give Zack some love. We should probably give Okada some love, to be honest. But Hiromu for, what a performance there. Shingo as well for trying to get him a little bit more, as far as his performance levels up. And all in all, this was a really, really good show. The opener kind of stunk for what we need to be doing, but I do love having Hayato Tamura as a Never Openweight 6-man champ. Love that. But thank you all for watching here as Power Struggle is over with and on to the Destruction Tour, which will have the Destruction shows. 2 of them, which I'm not sure exactly if we're going to do Kobe and Hiroshima again. We might do something a little different, just off of popularity's sake and trying to get as much money as we can. But that was a hell of a show. That was a hell of a show. A fucking 99 with Kazuchika Okada and Zack Sabre Jr. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And yeah, it's crazy. We only have 2 more episodes left of 2021, and then we'll be in 2022. And we'll be right there, almost, at least we'll be in the current year. But we'll still be a couple of months behind real life. But yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.